We extend a very good morning to our esteemed Managing Director, sir, respected teachers, dear parents, and one and all present here.
History is a bridge that connects our past with our future. Today, we invite you on a journey through the empires and kingdoms from 3rd to 6th century, an era that witnessed the rise of great dynasties and remarkable achievements.
From the glorious Gupta Empire, known as the Golden Age of India, to the artistic excellence of the Pallavas and courage and architectural brilliance of the Chalukyas, our young performances will bring these magnificent kingdoms to life.
So, without any further delay, let us begin this journey into glorious past. So, please welcome our talented students with a big round of applause. Before we begin today's assembly, let us seek the blessing of Almighty for knowledge, wisdom, and success. Now I request everyone to please stand up, put your right hand on your left shoulder, maintain silence, and get ready for the prayer with positivity and devotion in your hearts. Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been, broken up into fragments, by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where the mind is led forward by thee, into ever-winding thought and actions, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake.
Now it's time for thought of the day. A meaningful thought has the power to inspire minds, building confidence and guide us towards the right path. So let us listen carefully and reflect today's inspiring thought.
The achievements of ancient India remind us that learning and creativity are the true wealth of a civilization. I repeat my thought. The achievements of ancient India remind us that learning and creativity are the true wealth of a civilization. Thank you.
Group discussion helps us exchange ideas, improve our knowledge, and learn from one another. Today, our students will present a group discussion on the topic Empires and Kingdoms from 3rd to 6th century. Through this discussion, they will share interesting facts about the great rulers, powerful kingdoms, and the rich culture and achievements of ancient India. So let us listen attentively and encourage the participants with a big round of applause. Can you tell us about what was special about the period from the 3rd to 6th century?
The period from the 3rd to 6th century CE saw the rise of many important kingdoms in India. Among them, the Gupta Empire became the most powerful kingdom in southern India. This period brought political stability, economic growth, and cultural development.
Pankudi, who made the Gupta Empire and how did he make it strong?
The Gupta Empire was founded by Chandragupta first around the 4th century CE. He expanded his kingdom through administration and strong alliances. The Gupta ruler united many parts of northern India and established peace and prosperity.
Mandaj, why is the Samudragupta considered one of the greatest rulers of the ancient India? Samudragupta was one of the greatest rulers in the Gupta dynasty. He defeated many kings in the northern India and also conducted military campaigns in the south. His achievements are mentioned in the long article inscription written by Scott. Manat, why is Samudragupta called the Napoleon of India?
Samudragupta was
was called Napoleon of India because of its extraordinary military skills and successful conquests, like Napoleon Bonaparte. Expanded his empire rapidly through brilliant strategies and victories in many battles. However, he was also wise because he allowed defeated rulers to continue ruling if they accepted his authority.
Lakshya, how did the Gupta rulers manage such a large empire?
The Gupta rulers maintained efficient administration in the empire. The empire was divided into provinces and districts for easy governance. Local officers collected taxes and maintained law and order. This helped in maintaining peace and stability.
Manan, why do historians call the Gupta period the golden age of India?
The Gupta period is called the golden age of India because India developed in many fields during this time. There was development in science, mathematics, astronomy, literature, trade and art. People enjoyed peace and prosperity, which encouraged creativity and learning.
Manisha, who was Kumara Gupta?
Kumara Gupta was I ruled the Gupta Empire from 415 to 455 CE. He established the famous Nalanda University and promoted education and culture. Manan, who was Gupta?
Gupta ruled from 455 to 467 CE. He bravely defeated the Huns, earned the title Vikramaditya, and protected the Gupta Empire from foreign invasion. Vikram, can you tell us about Nalanda University?
Nalanda University, established during the reign of Kumaris I, was one of the world's greatest ancient centers of learning. Students from India and many other countries came here to study and gain knowledge.
Manan Dalhara, can you tell us about Aryabhat's contribution towards mathematics and science?
One of the greatest scholars of the Gupta period was Aryabhata. He made important contributions to mathematics and astronomy. He explained that the earth rotates on its axis and studied planetary movements. His discovery shows that ancient India was advanced in scientific knowledge.
Who was Kalidas and why he is remembered even today?
The Gupta age also saw progress in literature and culture. Many great writers and poets were respected in royal courts. Kalidasa was one of the most famous writers and poets and dramatists of this period. His works are still admired for their beauty and creativity.
Neil, what is Chinese traveler Kaxian observed during his visit to India?
Kaxian, a traveler from China who visited India during Gupta period. He wrote about peaceful cities, good administrations and prosperity of people. His writing skill helped historians to understand the condition of India during that time.
Now, let's move to South India. Meenal, can you introduce Pallava dynasty?
The Pallavas were powerful rulers of South India. They promoted trade, education and with architecture. The kingdom became famous for art and sculpture.
Manan ma'am, what is so unique about temples built by Pallavas?
The Pallavas built magnificent rock-cut temple at Mahabalipuram. These temples were carved from huge rock and showed great artistic skills. Even today, these monuments attract visitors from all over the world.
Palak, who was Patalya dynasty and why he is remembered even today?
The Chalukyas. The Chalukyas was another important dynasty of South India and they ruled the large part of the Deccan region and became famous for their strong administration and military power. Their capital was Delhi.
Mudit, why is Pulakeshin II remembered as a great ruler?
Pulakeshin II was one of the greatest rulers of the Chalukya dynasty. He defeated the most powerful North Indian ruler Harshvardhana near the Narmada river. This victory shows the strength of the Chalukya Empire.
Nambya, how did the Chalukyas and Pallavas contribute to Indian culture?
Contributions of South Indian kingdoms. The Pallavas and Chalukyas contributed greatly to Indian culture. They encouraged temple construction, sculpture, trade and learning. Their architecture and cultural achievements remain an important part of Indian heritage.
Manavi, finally could you summarize why this period is so important in Indian history?
In conclusion, the period from 3rd to 6th century CE was a remarkable phase in Indian history. The Gupta rulers strengthened northern India and promoted science, literature and trade. The Pallavas and Chalukyas enriched South India through art, architecture and administration.
together helped in shaping India's glorious cultural heritage.
Thank you everyone for sharing your views. Today's discussion helps us understand that history is not only about battles and kings, but also about knowledge, culture, architecture and progress. The rulers and kingdoms of this period left behind a legacy that still inspires us today. Thank you.
Indian classical dance reflects the beauty of our heritage and culture. So let us enjoy a mesmerizing classical dance performance by our talented students.
History is not just about dates and battles. It is a collection of inspiring stories, brave rulers, and magnificent kingdoms that shaped our nation.
Today, we will take you back to the glorious period from the 3rd to 6th century, an era of powerful empires, wise kings, cultural progress, and remarkable achievements.
Through this trip, you will witness the courage of great rulers the rise of mighty kingdoms and the rich heritage of ancient India.
Get ready to travel through the golden pages of our history as we travel the state on empires and kingdoms from the 3rd to 6th century.
Scene 1. Classroom scene.
Aryan entered with his book and looking tired.
Oh God, tomorrow is a history presentation and still we cannot understand his empires and kingdoms. Every page has another battle, another king and another dynasty. Guptas, Pallavas, Chalukyas. How can anyone remember all this?
I wish I could actually travel to ancient India and meet the rulers myself, then history would become interesting instead of difficult.
Teacher enters.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Please have a seat. Alan, you are looking so tense. Ma'am, I am not able to understand history. Alan, history is not just about learning dates and dates. It tells us how people lived, how kingdoms were ruled, how science developed, and how India became culturally rich. If you truly understand the story behind history, you will never forget it. But ma'am, I still feel confused. Which kingdom was the most powerful?
Why was the Gupta period called the Golden Age?
And why is Samudragupta called the Napoleon of India? Then close your eyes and imagine that you are traveling back to ancient India. Scene 2. Court of Samudragupta. Samudragupta enters. Students suddenly find themselves standing in the royal court of the Gupta Empire.
Welcome to my court, children.
Who are you?
I am Samudragupta, one of the greatest rulers of Gupta dynasty. During my reign, the Gupta Empire expanded across large part of northern India. I fought many battles and defeated several kings, but I believe that a wise ruler should know how to maintain things after victory.
Your Majesty, historians call it the Napoleon of India. Why were you given such a title?
I shall answer that question. I am Harisena, the court poet of Samudragupta, and I wrote about his achievements in the Allahabad pillar inscription. Samudragupta was compared to Napoleon Bonaparte because he was an extraordinary military commander. Just like the Napoleon conquered many regions through his brilliant strategies, Samudragupta won numerous battles and expanded his empire rapidly.
However, my greatness is not lying in welfare. After defeating rulers, I often allow them to continue ruling if they accept my authority and pay tribute. This helps me to maintain stability and good relations with different kingdoms.
That means you used intelligence along with strength. You were not just a conqueror, but also a clever administrator.
Exactly, a ruler who only fights wars can never build a lasting empire.
Scene 3. The Golden Age of India. After Samudragupta, the Gupta Empire became even more prosperous under Chandragupta II, also known as Vikramaditya.
Welcome to the Golden Age of India. During my period, trade cities developed and literature grew, and scholars made remarkable discoveries. People from distant lands visited India because they admire culture and learning.
Why exactly was this period called the Golden Age?
Because India made progress in almost every field: science, mathematics, astronomy, art, literature, and education. Our people enjoyed peace and prosperity, which encouraged creativity and learning.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Aryabhatta, a mathematician and astronomer of this period.
I have heard your name in mathematics class. What discoveries did you make?
I explained that Earth rotates on its axis and studied movements of planets and stars. I greatly contributed in mathematics and astronomy. These discoveries proved that ancient India was highly advanced in scientific thinking.
That is amazing. People often think ancient time only had wars and kingdoms. But now I can see that scholars and scientists were also respected.
I agree with you. I am Faxian, a traveler from China. When I visited during the Gupta period, I observed peaceful cities, good administration, and powerful kingdoms. I was deeply impressed by India's culture and learning.
Scene 4. The Pallavas of South India. The magical journey now takes students to South India where the Pallavas ruled. Narasimha Varman entered this culture.
Welcome to the Pallava kingdom. Our rulers encouraged architecture, sculpture, trade and education.
construct temples and monuments at Mahabalipuram. These temples were carved from huge rocks with great patience and skill.
Well, that must have required incredible hard work and creativity, as even today people admire these beautiful temples.
That is why we focus so much on art and temple construction.
Scene 5. The Mighty Chalukyas. Attention everyone, the mighty Chalukya ruler arrived. Pulakeshin II enters.
I am Pulakeshin II, one of the most powerful ruler of Chalukya dynasty.
What means Chalukya dynasty?
Our kingdom became famous for efficient administration, trade, temple architecture and military strength. We ruled large parts of the Deccan region and protected our kingdom from enemies.
I have read that you defeated Harshvardhana.
Yes, Harshvardhana was the powerful ruler of North India, but my army stopped his advance near the Narmada river. This victory showed the strength of the Chalukya kingdom.
The Chalukyas also built impressive temples and caves which reflected their artistic achievement. Scene 6. Final understanding. I hope now you will understand history better. Now I can finally understand that history is not boring at all.
The Gupta rulers helped India progress in science, mathematics and literature.
The Pallavas become famous for architecture and temple building.
The Chalukyas showed military strength and administrative skills.
Every kingdom contributed something towards India's development.
A great nation is built through courage, through knowledge and discovery, through art and culture.
Through unity and good leadership, we all must learn from our glorious past and work for a brighter future. Thank you.
कविता हमारे विचारों और भावनाओं को सुंदर शब्दों में व्यक्त करने का एक अच्छा माध्यम है। यह हमें नई सीख देती है और हमारे मन को खुशी और प्रेरणा से भर देती है। अब हमारे विद्यार्थी एक सुंदर कविता प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं। कृपया ध्यानपूर्वक सुनें।
गुप्त काल का स्वर्णिम युग, ज्ञान विज्ञान से भरा युग, शिक्षा कला और सम्मान भारत की बनी पहचान।
समुद्रगुप्त वीर महान, जीते उसने कई अभियान, भारत का नेपोलियन कहलाया, शौर्य से सबका मन भाया।
पल्लवों ने मंदिर बनाए, सुंदर पत्थर चित्र सजाए, चालुक्यों ने शक्ति दिखाई, भारत की महिमा बढ़ाई। इतिहास हमें सीख सिखाता, मेहनत से ऊंचा उठाता, अपने गौरव को अपनाए, मिलकर भारत आगे बढ़ाए, अपने गौरव को अपनाए, मिलकर भारत आगे बढ़ाए। धन्यवाद।
A poem can teach us valuable lessons in a simple and meaningful way. The beauty of words and rhythm makes poetry enjoyable for everyone. Now let us enjoy a wonderful English poem presented by our students.
From the 3rd to 6th centuries light, great kingdom flourished, strong and bright. Across the land their banner flew, building a legacy noble and true.
The mighty Guptas ruled with grace, bringing learning to every place. Under Samudragupta's glorious reign, art and science rose again. The valiant Pallavas by the southern sea built splendid temples for all to see. Their love for culture, faith and art left timeless wonders that still impart.
The brave Chalukyas stood strong and wise, with granstone temples touching the skies. Their courage, wisdom, and royal might made their kingdom shine so bright. These kings of India, bold and grand, shaped the history of our land. Their achievements still inspire today, guiding our nation on its way. Their achievements still inspire today, guiding our nation on its way. Thank you.
A group dance reflects unity and coordination. The colorful moments we are sure that this performance is going to be memorable.
चार युग, चार कहानियां, एक ही सृष्टि का अनंत सफर। समय बदलता रहा, पर मानव की परीक्षा कभी खत्म न हुई। सत्य के प्रकाश से लेकर कलयुग के अंधकार तक, और उसी सफर का आरंभ था सत्ययुग, जहां सत्य ही शक्ति था और मनुष्य देवों के निकट एक अलौकिक प्रकाश बनकर जीता था। त्रेता युग, जब अधर्म ने सीमा पार की, तब अवतार का प्रकट होना निश्चित हुआ। त्रेता ने सिखाया त्याग ही वीरता का प्रथम रूप है। इस युग का प्रभाव था मर्यादा, कर्तव्य और अमर बलिदान का संकल्प।
राम हुए त्रेता में, रावण का संहार किया।
द्वापर युग, द्वापर में धर्म और अधर्म का संग्राम पृथ्वी पर नहीं, हृदयों में हुआ। कृष्ण का सार था कर्तव्य से बड़ा कोई धर्म नहीं। ये युग था ज्ञान, युद्ध और जागरण का, जहां सत्य को तलवार की धार पर परखा गया है। कलिकाल में सत्य छिप सकता है पर मिट नहीं सकता। ये युग हमें सिखाता है कि अंधकार की गहराई भी रोशनी को जन्म देती है। कलयुग का राग है परीक्षा, परिवर्तन और अंत में प्रबुद्धता।
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजामि परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि